I don't think anyone needs to be amped up for this in that Jacksonville Jaguars locker room or fan base. You know what it is. It's AFC South Hate Week. As the Jaguars travel to Tennessee as the Titans look to play playoff spoiler against the Jaguars. And I am your host, Travis Holmes, BigCatCountry.com and the Believe Podcast Network. And I am joined by famed friend of the pod and formerly hated Tennessee Titan, Ben Troupe. How was your Thanksgiving, bro?
Number one, Thanksgiving was beautiful. I like how Trav plugged it. You know, formerly hated, and that's recent formerly hated. If we don't go on we had a mutual friend who would go on the show, and then what I loved about it was as soon as they said where you was from, and they said a former Titan, I could see you perk up, go, oh Titan, huh? Oh that's how we do. Because we could take over this whole podcast. This whole thing could just go left. But man, just being in the content creation world, podcast world. Brad, it's a pleasure to be on with you, man. It's not a lot of us, and I mean that figuratively and literally when you talk about in these spaces. So, yeah, man, anytime, any chance to come on and talk Titans, Jag, which is, once again, a very underrated rivalry. People, I get it. People outside don't get it, but it is serious, man. I'm looking forward to Sunday.
I mean, you were formerly hated in the same ways that that Derrick Henry, we saw the Ravens game last night. Yeah, Derrick Henry is formerly hated. He's not hated actively. He was just hated for what he did to the franchise when he was here. Now that you off that, like it's all right. Like
to be remembered in any professional setting, to be hated at all is a flex, man. It's a compliment because. Most players, you get this. You play for the Titans, yeah, win. That means that as soon as they go win, and they say you play with so and so, oh, they don't remember you. But and it take you a little while to realize that, yeah, you play with Steve McNair, yeah. And once again, I played in them Jacksonville glory years with that defense. Everybody on defense had dreads, except the white guys. I don't think they had no white guys on the defense end. So yeah, the Jags have given me a lot of nightmares over the years. Maury Jones-Drew. And Fred Taylor, I'm going to keep saying this, they are the greatest 1-2 punch in the NFL history. You don't got to like it, Chris Johnson and Lindell White. You don't got to like it, Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams. Now, Roger Craig and Ricky Waters, y'all want super duper. So y'all might have something to say. But I'm talking about over a collective amount of time. It's Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders. The backup, which is Mario Jones, you don't want him to come in. You rather deal with Fred T. Because if number 33 come in, that joker twerking on the ground. Oh, Mario Jones-Drew got on my nerves, man. Hated him. Hey. And Mercedes Lewis is still in the league. Good Lord, Mercedes.
Hey, man, he's up for that. He's up for that potential Hall of Fame vote again, Freddie T. So let's hopefully they.
Yeah, I love you, Tony Baselli, but come on, man. I believe the greatest in franchise history is Freddie T. You got to have the greatest in franchise history in the Hall, man. Let's get it right, man.
All right, so you already mentioned about the fact that there's that underrated rivalry, and folks don't know about it. But let me just introduce the younger Jaguar fans to a little bit of it from courtesy of Josh Hines Allen.
Yo, hey man, listen. The first day I got in this, these boys said we don't like Tennessee. Yep. We don't like Tennessee, and they don't like us. Nope. So is this a rivalry game? Y'all knows what the it is. Y'all know what the it is, man. We don't need everything here. Come on. Yes, sir. Let's go, man. Let's go.
And yeah, that's courtesy of Jaguars.com. And you've seen some version of that video nearly every single time the Jaguars have played against the Tennessee Titans because we don't like them. And they don't like us, and I think that's pretty accurate words from Josh Hines Allen, courtesy of Jaguars.com. Like the last Jaguars matchup against Tennessee, that quarterback Trevor Lawrence played in was that winning you're in playoff clinching road game at the end of 2023. And the Titans successfully played spoiler to Jacksonville with that 28-20 Tennessee victory. So yeah, we absolutely do not like y'all, and it's all the hate. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and only you. So hey, so at the end of it, man, y'all some haters, I swear, but I respect it in some ways. But
we gonna hate. Yep, we gonna do that. Yep. I'm 11. Break the hate.
It's gonna be interesting, bro, because the Jaguars have a strong chance to make the playoffs with the winning you're in. Like not us winning you're in, but it's kind of they go from 83% chance of making the postseason with the win on Sunday to a loss takes them down to 56%. So Daniel Jones dealing with his, fibula injury. The Giants might even be able to steal the AFC South. Like, there's a lot going on. So this game does hold some serious weight in both in Jacksonville and for you guys, just from the petty factor. Tennessee, right?
Absolutely, Trav, and whoever told Josh Hines, Allen, whoever told him that, I appreciate that. Because sometimes when you get welcome into the NFL, it's all about welcome to the team, and then whoever put us out, listen, we do not like Tennessee. Like and people say, why do you say Tennessee? Because Indy, we understand Indy, don't nobody respect Houston. I'm just, that is a Houston jab. It is. We just don't. So with this game for Tennessee is the barometer to say, hey, if you can't make the playoffs, you got to put somebody else out or make their chances hard. You got to have something in the season to make you go, man, what can we look back on in 2025 and say, man, we trending in the right direction? Well, remember that game against Jacksonville late in the season. And
that's it.
That's why football is meaningful, right? Even in late November for a team for a 1-11 team. That's what makes it meaningful is you always got something to play for. Not just your paycheck, not just your, notoriety, not just your reputation. If you beat a potential, because Jacksonville can still make the playoffs even if they lose to the Titans, you get to say, okay, how? The new thing is this. I want to win and I don't care how I win. But if I lose, I can't look bad in losing. Was I competitive in a loss? Because something I said before the show, Trav, I just think that Jacksonville and Tennessee are very similar. It's just Jacksonville wins. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, Trevor hasn't looked his best, but we winning, right? It hasn't been great, but we winning. And that's the thing. It's like, hey man, it's like being in a car wreck. And so you look around and say, whoa, is everybody in high? Everybody can do this. Then you assess the car. Then you go, God. But if the car ain't that bad, but the people inside is hurt, it don't matter about the car. But the people inside good, the car can be bad because you're like, all right, I can replace the car. You rub your head like, man, I should have slowed down. That's kind of how I see the Titans. I don't think the Jags are a train wreck. I just think that I think the Titans are, and it's a lot of ways that's another whole show. I just think, Trav, for what I see with the Titans is against the Seahawks is a head scratcher. Like, dang man, they took them to the brink. Like that's a good freaking game, right? In other games, you're like, what is that? Like what the Jags do that. But the difference is at the end of the day, you can pinpoint every single thing that happened with the Jags or what quarter it happened. Sometimes it's Travis. Sometimes it's Trevor. Sometimes it's third down defense. Sometimes it's the run game. Sometimes it's lack of, understanding the game plan. But y'all still in a position to not just win the AFC South. Well, y'all can still let me say this. Y'all can still see Indy. At first, Indy was so far down the road you couldn't see him. Now, Indy like, hey man, who was that? That's the Jags, bro. Who?
Game behind.
Yeah, man. So that's all I'm saying, man. Y'all winning is the cure to all of it in the NFL, man. In life, when you talk about, so if you win, bad isn't that bad. That's all I'm saying. It ain't that bad when you win.
No, I got you. So obviously, we're here to talk about these Tennessee Titans and these Jaguars, and we're going to get into the game preview stuff. But bear with me a minute. I got these guys in the comments as early as 7:00 this morning, so I wanted to make sure I give them a quick shout out, like Radius. But also he's in the UK in his defense, so it was like lunchtime for him. But yeah, settles into the front row. Steady wanted to know your thoughts on the ownership of Amy Adams-Strunk. The Titans fans seem to generally be pleased a few years ago, but the inability to recruit at head coach and offensive coordinator on the same page is kind of testing that. What are your thoughts on
that? I feel real similar to what Eddie George said, and I like the way he said it when he was saying that front office, they're not getting it done. And I know that's easy for us washed up. I am in no way, shape, or form putting myself in the same category or breath as Eddie George. But what I am saying is blame has to start with the people that make the decisions, right, Trav? They make all the decisions, right? We are when you work on the first floor, you do what the upper management say you do, right?
Yes, sir.
You fire a GM and hire the same guy. You literally hired who you fired. You got a guy who you hired as a head coach that didn't work out to put an interim in. That's even what if the interim's supposed to let you know at least we still got good coaches if the head coach is gone. You don't even got that.
Right.
You don't even so we can't keep using the word rebuild. At a certain point, when are we gonna live in this house? We have been redoing it. This was a brand new house, right? Yeah. How you renovate a new house? We got to move in first, mess up some stuff, then renovate it. And I think the Titans have a lot more going on in their front office that because it's easy to put it on the owner. I get him, but got to put it on somebody. You the one that write the check. Your name was on the left side of the check last time I checked. It's in, it's a stamp. Everybody else got to sign theirs on the back. So I just think for the Titans to look around this whole division and say, where are we the best at? The answer is nowhere. Not in ownership, not in decision making, not in product on the field, not in future, not in nowhere. I would rank them fourth out of 1 through 4. They 4 across the board. Okay. Now I would rank them maybe like number 2 in uniforms because, I mean, the Colts don't really have a uniform. The Colts don't have uniforms, and the thing about how much red can you wear, Houston? Red socks, red shoes. Good Lord. So,
bro, that's hate runs.
But yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Well, you already spoke about the fact that the Jaguars could potentially steal that AFC South. Like they are only a game behind Indianapolis with 2 games to play against Indianapolis also.
Yeah.
And we already talked about Daniel Jones's injury to his leg. And if you saw the videos of them in practice, he did not look very good to be playing against the Houston defense this week. So Jaguars definitely have a great opportunity to maybe take this AFC South and at worst, I mean, get that wild card spot with Houston lurking in the hunt. So, I mean, there's some opportunity there for sure. But we had a little bit of a injury situation going on in Jacksonville. Both, I mean, a little bit positive if you've been watching the Jaguars for the last few weeks. You got defensive end Trevor Walker with the knee injury, Patrick McCarry, who's in the concussion protocol, Chuma Adoga, who's a backup guard. They all didn't practice on Thursday. So that's some questions, we'll say, how that's going to work out. In the positive front, though, you got Jordan Lewis, cornerback Jordan Lewis, Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver, and right tackle Anton Harrison, all potentially primed to return this week if you're looking at the practice reports. Additionally, they opened a 21-day practice window for Eric Murray at safety, so there's a potential that he could even return this week for Jacksonville. So in some ways, they are getting a little bit healthier than we've seen them in recent weeks. And for Jaguar fans, just to catch everybody up, for anybody who doesn't know, Kevin Ridley, he's on IR. So you won't be seeing him for Tennessee this week. He had a broken fibula, along with Olu Aladejo, who fractured his leg about a month ago, and cornerback Darius Sneed, who's on the shelf with a quad injury. The Titans center, Lloyd Cushenberry, also hasn't practiced this week with his foot injury. So we're going to keep a close eye on the injury report, because if Eric Armstead can have a day, I mean, you're going to love that, right? Wow. But yeah, wide receiver Alec Ayominor and safety Xavier Woods both missed last week against Seattle with hamstring injuries, and both of them look like they're at least going to be questionable, if not out. You'll kind of see where that lands. With also finally cornerback Jalen Amor Davis is working through an Achilles injury, and he didn't practice on Thursday. So I just gave you a lot of injuries for both teams, but at the end of all of it, like the injury report, as it always does this time of year, just looks like a mass unit. And I'm just wondering, is there anyone on this report that just rings your alarm bells? That's just like, okay, cool. Like, and that's for either Tennessee or for Jacksonville, for that matter. I'm just curious what your thoughts on that.
I mean, Brian Thomas Jr., obviously the curious case of Brian Thomas Jr., we're going to see who he is when he comes back, because, he obviously had some iffy play. I don't think it's his hands. I think it's above the neck. Trayvon Walker, and the reason why I say Trayvon Walker is the one that stands out is if you look at the AFC South, the things that are glaring is if you got 2 pass rushers on the outside, you can wreck guys. Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. Trayvon, what he does well is feeds off of Josh Allen, Hines Allen. Like so they don't, if they can put it together at the same time. Because when Danielle Hunter came over from freaking Minnesota, I was like, because him and Jonathan Grenard basically just flipped. One went to Minnesota, the other one came to Houston. I think the thing about, number one, I got to say this every time I come with Trayvon Walker, I apologize. I was so wrong about you, dude. So wrong. But number one, can you really live up to a number 1 overall pick unless your name is Myles Garrett with those type of numbers? Trayvon Walker is a quality pass rusher. He still uses the bull rush. He still tries to overpower people way too much, in my opinion. When if he just added some tools to the to what he does, I think it'll make him even better. But it's glaring. And obviously, I keep on saying Brian Thomas for this. Brian Thomas is going to get a lot more blame now because Travis is out. So now, yes, they brought over Jacoby Myers, which is a great addition. But just like I know, Trav, they ain't bring over Jacoby to be the number one. They didn't do that. They bring them out to be complimentary. I need my number one to play like a number one, because when he doesn't, they're going to keep saying, why do you keep throwing it to him? Because you're going to keep throwing it to your number. Like, Brian Thomas doesn't have a problem with getting open. You know, right? He don't have a problem with beating DBs. You got to see the ball in, and sometimes it happens. But these injury reports get real big on like a Friday, and they start shrinking come Saturday, and then come Sunday. The only way a guy's not going to play is if he's questionable. If he's questionable on Sunday, but Nick, during the week, you can bop it everybody. You can have coaches on them freaking injury reports. It's rough, man. During the week, it's rough. But
I tell folks that all the time. And even if a guy is not listed on the injury report, that does not mean he ain't injured. There's a lot of guys who have injuries that's not listed on the injury report because they're still going full go throughout the week. So that's just football. When you get into a car accident every week for 18 weeks straight, you're going to feel some kind of way. That's kind of what it is.
Oh, yeah. And some of these guys played in the preseason, and they're going to play every game in the regular season. So, you talk about 19 games, and sometimes that's all you're really doing at the end of the year. And that's every sport in football, every level. You count healthy bodies. Sometimes, man, who the healthiest right now?
Yeah.
Because I know you mentioned something that I know Indy fans, did y'all peak too early? Did y'all just run away from this thing the first 10? Because you hear after the 10th game, you got 7 games left. So
and playoffs.
Yeah. So I obviously
I got you.
Man, the Titans, I mean, does it even really matter at this point when it comes to the Titans, man? I'm a support my Titans.
It has to matter on some level because it's AFC South. Like you thought the Titans was going to give up after the bye week and after their coach was fired and everything else, and they had a 3-point game that they were up 2 minutes left, less than 2 minutes left against 95 seconds left against Houston with the chance to win that bad boy. So but here's the thing too, Trav. Sometimes it takes them last minutes to show you what the other team is and what your team isn't. This is how I know. The one game the Titans won, the guy who caught the game-stealing pick for Arizona fell on the ground and fumbled the ball. And that's how they got the touchdown. That game was so crazy. Cam Ward, which I know we'll talk about, is just I don't know how to really evaluate a quarterback when your team is that bad. I can't really evaluate him. If my leading receiver, and this is no disrespect, right now. Bear with me a moment. Actually, I want to get to Cam Ward as soon as we wrap up this injury report mess, just because I wanted to quickly. We have a whole section talking about the quarterbacks because you have to get into the quarterback conversation. Yeah. But the biggest news for me personally, and I just wanted to point that out to Jaguar fans just to make sure at least it was on folks' radar, is kind of whatever's going to happen with that Friday practice report for Jacksonville with either Patrick McCarry, who I assume is going to be either questionable or out for Sunday, but also Chuma Adogas, because that's his backup at right guard. He might possibly be out. And if Jacksonville is going to be down to either Wyatt Milam or Cole Van Lannon playing third string right guard, that's a problem across the offensive line because that the Jacksonville offensive line, Robert Hainsey and Ezra Cleveland on that left side, who are they going to be busy with all day? Jeffrey Simmons. Yeah. So whoever your third string right guard is going to be, and again, that's assuming either Patrick McCarry and Chuma Adoga are both out or questionable, hobbled, they're going to be on an island all day. Against Joseph Day, Sebastian Day, or Sebastian Joseph Day, or Sweat. So I'm like, third string option that you haven't really seen play right guard all season, put on an island all day is probably going to be a problem. Like I'm just being honest about
if those guys come to play, but it's got the benefit. If they got to win one-on-ones. It's like you see how you giving the keys to the game, but they got to win them one-on-one. Sometimes, how motivated am I? If we got one win, how motivated? I mean, hey man, they pay you. But Jefferson Simmons gonna be a low for anybody. Whether you first string, second string, no string, that's a grown man coming at you every single play right there.
Did you know he had the fastest average time to pressure in the NFL for everybody who had 25 quarterbacks pressures?
I did
2.5
not.
seconds.
Jeffrey Simmons knew that coming into this year, they was like, can you get to that double digit sack thing? Because and Trevor, not that numbers are the end all be all. I like the QB pressures and things, but that's us numbers guys that go the game within the game. Most people, they box score people. They go to the box score. Oh man, you only got 4 sacks. And let me tell y'all something. We live in an age now where interior D linemen are getting double digit sacks. Do you know how hard that is? That is nothing against them outside dudes. I'm right here. I got a guard. I got a center. I got a bunch of trash coming through there. And I'm getting double digit sacks. I mean, I'm winning. Jeffrey Simmons is a man child. And let me tell you something, Ms. Adams. You better do a lot of things. Do not let Jeffrey Simmons go. I don't want to see no breaking news. I don't want to. We could get picks for him. A pick is not going to be more valuable than a Jeffrey Simmons. Treat it. He ain't a Myles Garrett, which nobody is, but he has that caliber of impact if you put guys around him, is all I'm saying.
He does. There was a point this offseason that Jaguars fans was praying that was something that was possible for Jeffrey Simmons to come to Jacksonville.
I'm not doing this, Trav. I'm telling you right now. If y'all trade for Jeffrey Simmons, I'm not doing you. I love you. I ain't. Nope.
You ain't doing the
I'm not going to come on here just so you can look at me and go, did you see the news? What news? No, man. Let's not play around.
Feel like an AJ Brown trade all over. That just feels like another terrible one.
Hey, but you know what? He's definitely trying to get the hardest contract is getting the second one. The one that's out of this world is the third. He's trying to get a third big deal with the way he's playing. But that's going to be the big thing is how much is his price going to be too high come that third contract. So we'll see.
Yeah, they ain't gonna want to pay it because of his age, and then we'll be like, all right, we'll take this great talent for the next 4 years.
No state tax. Come on down here. We'll give you a little less money, but ain't no state tax. So you ain't no state tax in Tennessee. You got 2 teams to dealing with, but the difference is one is winning, and one has floor, and one has sunny beaches. Better. Come on, man. We'll see.
So you already given me your general state of the Titans, so I'm not even going to ask about that at this point. Like I'm just going to ask you to answer as a key to your key to the game. What do you believe the Titans could do to pull off the upset on Sunday, realistically?
I think to realistically pull it off, they're going to have to run the football because if they don't, Cam Ward, as I think he has potential to be incredible, but he's still a rookie. He trusts his arm way too much sometimes. And I would have to look at the stat. He's the only guy that's rolled to the right and thrown back left. He's done it like 5 or 6 times this year. If you are Jacksonville, you saying, dude, if you roll right, you throw right. You don't roll right and throw left. And another key to this game is this. Can our defense force Trevor Lawrence to make some mistakes? Because Trevor will make some mistakes. Now, what kind of mistakes? Fumble, hold the ball too long, throw into a window that's not there. And that's the problem, though, Trav. The only way I think the Titans can win is if they got to force Jacksonville to do some, uncanny type things. Because if we can, can we make Jacksonville one-dimensional? Maybe. That, maybe. Because running games don't got to have over 100 yards to still be efficient. Sometimes you just keep giving them the rock. 2 or 3 yards here becomes 6 or 7 yards in the fourth. And the main thing with the Titans is this, can they not get in their own way? Because it happens every single week.
That sounds like the Jaguars.
But the Titans, it's like you were saying, Trav, you watching the Jags, you look up, you're like, dang, man, the Titans still in the game with the Seahawks. And then you flip on it, and when the Seahawks win, you go, y'all wasn't doubling Jackson Smith and Nigma? Yeah. Y'all played him one-on-one. You played JSN one-on-one, and they did it all game. It's common. We call it this.
So the Seahawks didn't take advantage of some of these things that Tennessee was doing that probably should have worked out earlier. Am I grasping this correctly?
Yes, but here's the thing too. Here's the thing though. What gets you being in football is we call it CSU, man, Common Sense University. Everybody need to make sure they enroll. Because when you do it, the Titans them coaches they ain't enrolled. Because of some of the things they're doing. Cam Ward is not a bad player. He's on a real bad team, which makes him look like a bad player. He's not a bad player. But the Jags, once again, I can say the same thing I just said about the Jags. Problem is they win, though. They're going to win the game. So they'll say, we'll make mistakes, But winning shows you how to win, and losing shows you how to lose. The Titans don't know how to win no games, man. They don't know how. Not right now. When my best player is a rookie on offense,
Yeah,
that's gonna be hard.
that's
So,
problematic.
I like I said,
So
so
you
yeah.
mentioned Cam's has been like he is the best player, and I think you've landed that ship as far as that piece is concerned. But I'm kind of curious because I thought he's had his best games, even though it's been a rougher stretch of opponents. I thought he's had his best games since Brian Callahan's exodus, since Brian Callahan
Mhm.
was
He
out of the
has.
paint.
He has.
He's protected the ball. He's had his best two games as far as passer rating was concerned. So I was just kind of curious, do you believe that was related? Like, do you believe that that's related to Brian Callahan no longer being there? Or it's just, hey, man, the rookie just kind of figuring it out?
100% directly related to it. Think about this. Sean McVay is the offensive coordinator, right? For the Rams. He got Matthew Stafford. Kyle Shanahan's the offensive coordinator for for the 49ers, and he got Brock Purdy, and obviously he had Mac Jones, right? Then you talking about Andy Reid? He'll call plays for Kansas City. What do all three of those teams have in common? Veteran quarterbacks. All those quarterbacks are veterans, and they understand the terminology. A head coach needs to coach his rookie. You cannot coach me and call plays because let's be honest. Brian Callahan, is he known for play calling? No, like
Absolutely
not. People say, "Hey man, hey Brian Callahan, who's that?" You remember Coach Callahan back in the day? His son. It's like this young. I'm gonna give you another. I'm gonna give you another one, even though it's working out sometimes. Coach Canales, right? Bryce Young. Sometimes your head coach, who's also the play caller, sometimes that works, but can't nobody make you not call them. You can't demote yourself. You can demote yourself. And Brian Callahan just didn't seem like a good fit in Tennessee, not just as a play caller, as a coach. And Cam Ward got to deal with both. I'm going to say what Tom Brady said, and I agree with it. All right, just say that Cam Ward is probably like 21, 22 when we're talking about quarterback rankings in the NFL. What did Brian Callahan rank as a play caller? In the bottom, 26, 27. So the guy who's calling plays don't even rank that high. But you want me to take his low play calling and elevate it through my play. I think that's messed. If my quarterback coach, I don't know, my play caller, if I'm ranked higher than them, but I get the blame, well, my play caller's gone, who's also my head coach. And Coach McCoy, may God bless him. He don't know what he doing. He don't know what he doesn't. And he is an interim. I get it, but so I think Cam Ward shows why he was a number one pick because of how well he understands situational football. Yeah. Trav,
he's helping the situation around him, but he also understands that this ain't it. This ain't what it should be. Basically,
you know why he understands it. He did it last year. Last year he was at Miami, and he had no defense. And they won most of those games. And when the defense finally caught up to him, they lost against Syracuse, kept him out of the ACC championship game in the college football playoffs. That was his 2024 to then go to the Titans with a coach. Brian Callahan was respected because of his position. No, he was respected because of his title, not what he did. If you my supervisor, I ain't gonna say what I say in private and public, but that don't mean I respect you. I'm gonna come to work on time. I'm gonna do my job, but I know you ain't that good. This is the pros, man. We adults, so but yeah, it's
and they can't say it out loud, even though they all know it. And that's the part that I always think is funny with fans. They be acting like the players don't know if they have a bad coach or if they have a bad GM or if like these guys don't listen to the media. They don't like read the same stuff that y'all reading or listen to the same stuff that y'all listening to. Like they know, and they probably know more than we know.
They know. Once again, that's the worst part is. If I went to journalism school, we went to journalism school, and we finally get the right for sports, ESPN or NBC, whatever, right? And our editor, and just say our editor was a person that got fired at two other stages. Like, that's what they hired him. Like it's like we know. We listen. We respect them, but as soon as he face Trav, see right here, you look at him like it's all right. Like, bro, I write better than you. What is you talking about? It's. That's what makes it hard to come to work when I know that you ain't that good. I cannot overcome bad coaching every Sunday. I can't do that every week. And that's what they asked the Cam Ward to do now. Hey, dude, we hope this is game plan work. We really don't know, but just go see. That's what they're doing. And they almost beat Seattle.
It's no
doing that.
different going to, it's no different than everybody else got who's listening to us right now, who's like 50% of them at a job right now with a manager who they know is bad. And you got
Yes.
to try to make this look good. And like y'all know what this is. It might not be as a football player who makes millions of dollars, but you understand the situations these guys face. So I get it. But no, let's get into these keys to the game, man, because we got to talk about the other side of the coin. We've always talked about the Tennessee Titans quarterback Cam Ward, but also Trevor Lawrence, man. My first key to the game is let it rip, but just let it rip a little less. Less than 30 times a game is probably where I'm landing for Trevor Lawrence right now, because keep that thing in moderation. You don't want to play with fire too much. We talked about this with Big Game James Coleman in our post game from this past week's game, the win over the Arizona Cardinals, which was just chaotic overtime victory. It was 4 turnovers, so you can probably guess how this game, the post game went. But there's been a lot of conversation over Trevor over the last few weeks, whether it's him not being aggressive enough 2 weeks ago, whether it's being too aggressive last week with the turnovers. Either the porridge is too hot, the porridge is too cold, and then out of nowhere he makes a perfect bowl of porridge, and you're just like with no ingredients, and you're like, dude, that's my chef, that's my quarterback. And so 4 game-winning drives and 7 victories, but also multiple rough showings and a 4 turnover game kind of sprinkled in. So this Trevor Lawrence experience has been interesting, but that's the best way I can probably say it. As he continues to kind of find that sweet spot and balance in the game, and I think that's kind of where it is right now within this offense.
Yeah, I think you said a lot when it comes to Trevor Lawrence. If simple and plain when it comes to Trevor Lawrence, to me, if I was talking to him, I would tell him, listen, man, be careful out there, man. Yeah, but don't be hesitant. You can't be both. Not as a quarterback. Be careful with the football, meaning don't give it away. But dude, trust what you see. Sometimes it's like, dude, and I do agree though. I don't like these 30. What I need to throw the ball? What do I get 30 times to drop back for? 30 dropbacks? That's asking. That means, okay, if I complete 25, 24, 23, that's pretty good. Yeah, but what did I do with them others 5 or 6? See, because them other 5 or 6 could beat you if it's a pick, if it's a bad decision. And that's the thing about Trevor is less is more, Trevor. Look, you have the ability to do one thing, audible out. You have that ability. Now, I'm not saying do it every play, because I don't know how much it messes with his confidence when he makes a mistake. He's made so many. I don't know how it affects him. Only he knows. So yeah, I think that with him, I said, look, man, play careful. You are a game manager. I don't know why a couple of years ago Cam made it seem like game manager and game changer. There aren't many game changers in football. Just so we know. Be a game manager for 4 quarters. Don't start doing stuff. Listen, every week you can see somebody either with their arms straight.
No, I said with this matchup, just looking at the matchup, just keep them on schedule. So you're not a game manager, same kind of.
Listen. We don't listen. It's like this. We just had Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a happy one. I don't want no surprises this year. I'm talking about the food. Whoever comes, gonna come. I don't want to be, what is this? I don't want to hear, what is this? Oh, man, this is we ain't experimenting today. This ain't experiment in your own house. Not with me. That's all I would say to Trevor. Dude, you know how to play football, right? Yeah. Go play. Like, look, if you think about, if I just hand the ball off, get the ball off on time, stay ahead of the chains, listen, and understand the situation, anticipate the blitz, focus on what you're doing, execute, finish, and do that. Play boring football. Do that.
Yeah.
I don't want exciting Trevor, because exciting to you, Trevor, takes years off my life with me.
This is why I give you a little bit of pushback, and I'm being honest about this, because I thought about this in great depth, and I think I've landed on this spot. So NFL.com stated Trevor's had 5 games with a sub 82 passer rating, which I didn't confirm, but then also he's 3-2 in those games. Like they're 3-1 in the last 4. Just looking at the bye. So like it don't make sense, to be really clear about this experience. This ride is all over the place, but somehow it's working for now. But this is what I mean right here. So if you look at what the Jaguars did before the bye week and what they've been doing after the bye week, after they told Trevor Lawrence specifically, hey man, let it rip, it's kind of curious, because it's like they are increasing the amount of offensive turnovers that they have. They've also at the same time decreased the amount of defensive turnovers they've had. So that's basically a turnover difference of 2 turnovers a game. Think about it from that. They're punting the ball 2.5 times less per game. They have more than 2 sacks a game more on defense.
Mm-hmm.
They're scoring nearly 9.5 points more a game,
Mm-hmm.
and they're allowing just under 2 more points a game. So over the scope of the team, if you're looking at it from that perspective, they are plus 8 points basically. And I'm sitting there like, interesting. So
yeah, but see,
the
yeah, Trav. But let me tell you what I had to see. When I see this, right, I see what this said, and this shows us a lot. It don't show us everything. This shows us a lot. But you said something. You said, but the team is playing better around him. Look, quarterbacks are gonna make mistakes. That's why I said be careful. I didn't say be cautious. I said we tell each other be careful in life. All right, well, be careful out there. Because I know you got to go out there. I didn't say be cautious. You're gonna make mistakes, Trevor. It can't be a killer. That's what it can't kill a drive, it can't kill the momentum. That's what there are certain drives that you'll go. Now see that right there? That's going. I don't want the demoralizer. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
So there's some mistakes you can't make, and there's some mistakes I'm okay with you making because that means that you're gonna probably score more touchdowns. Like I'll take that 4-touchdown game if you give me 2 interceptions. If there's one of them is just like a great play on defense or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And when you watching it's every week we do this. We watching our teams. We'll say, "Oh man, we gotta do better than that." That's fine. But when you go, Trevor, you can't do that. I'm talking about those when like, dude, you can't. And here's the thing. Don't make mistakes like you a first-year player. Don't do that. Like, Trevor, what was that? That's all I believe in players believing in themselves who gonna take chances. I don't want no dude that's afraid to take a chance. Because if you don't take chances, that makes it look like the guys around me can't play, and they can play. So what I'm telling you about Trevor is, I think that's the best way to describe it. The Trevor Lawrence experience every week, man, strap in. Just strap in. It's never going to be the same ride. You know it's going to be thrilling. But at the end of the ride, if I can say, all right, that was dope. I can deal with that. Not the one like, man, what was – and that's the thing about Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence can look all world on one series. In the next series, you go, what was that? And he got to work on his in-between. He got to work on that. Hey, man, don't be too hot and cold. I can deal with lukewarm. That hot and cold stuff. But he's figuring it out. I think his teammates are learning to take some of the stress off of him, whether that's defensively, offensively, because it's only one him. And here's the thing. People say, what's the better option with Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville? There isn't one. And that's the cold honest. There ain't a better option other than him. So I know that people want to talk about what Mac Jones has done and some of these other backups have done. That ain't Jacksonville. That ain't us. That ain't y'all. So he'll be fine, man. Take chances. Don't get what they say, the loosey-goosey with the football, and we'll see. And like I say, no better team to test where you are as a team than with the Titans. And
the Titans.
We don't know who in the world the Titans going to show up.
Well, you already mentioned the fact that the best way for the Titans to beat the Jaguars was to establish that run game. But from my perspective, that's literally, that's what the Jaguars want to be. So in that way, they are the same. Like the Jaguars need to get back to that ground and pound and continue pushing that forward. And I'm not just saying ground and pound. Let me be very clear. I'm saying the Jacksonville Jaguars need to absolutely come out this bad boy, just embarrassing the Titans in the ground game. Like that's where I'm landing on this bad boy, because you remember Derrick Henry and how many times that man in my lifetime, enough times to last a lifetime. Derrick Henry and Mike Vrabel, those dudes, they've embarrassed Jaguar fans to the point they don't want to talk about this team the next day at work because of the run that he had against them that I ain't never witnessed in the NFL. Like, just 90 yards, stiff arming people out of the door. Like, and it's happened multiple times, multiple years. Like, so on behalf of the Duval fan base, I am asking for 200 plus on the ground combined for the Jacksonville backfield on Sunday. Like, run through a mother face, like Marshawn Lynch say, over and over and over.
Yeah, again. If y'all do that, it's over. If we can't stop, hold on. Do you know how strong you got to be to not let a person push you out of bounds? You know they're just trying to push him out of bounds. Like, nope.
Oh,
good Nick. Golly, dude, I miss Derrick Henry, man. Don't show me stuff about Derrick Henry or Kevin Byard or AJ Brown. Good football players. We let them go. We don't need them. Who need those? Mike
So the
Vrabel.
interesting part about the Titans, though, the Titans establishing the run game will be something crazy, and I don't mean crazy like not it's impossible. It's more because the Jaguars are actually first in the NFL in their run stopping. Like Devon Hamilton has actually had a great rebound season there, and I want to make sure I give Anthony Campanella and his defense credit for that. But from the Titans side of things, honestly, from my perspective, they're kind of soft on the outside. Like, and I've never said that in my life in relation to a Tennessee Titans like defense. It's just it hasn't been a thing, but I've been waiting to say this thing for like since week 7. Me and you, we haven't talked since the Jaguars played the Rams, right? And Sean McVay, Liam Cohen, that's his mentor.
Yeah.
You've seen. I don't know if you've been paying attention to what McVay's been doing in LA, but them boys have been spamming like this is Madden. They've been spamming 13 personnel. All them tight ends. You saw that Derrick Henry video? You saw that Derrick Henry video I just showed you?
Yeah.
You see how many tight ends is on the field?
But here they call that tray personnel. Tray personnel when you got 3 tight ends. But here's the thing, Trav. That's when you can go deep. Think about this. They're going. You know how deep in your game plan you go to do that? To go to the tight end meet room and say, "Hey, fellas, be ready." And they'll save it for one game. They ain't do. You can't do it every week because they'll figure it out. But that's the thing. They did it 4 weeks straight. Man, somebody. Sean McVay is saying, "Fellas, I don't know how it's going to be like the Wildcat." When Ronnie Brown was doing the Wildcat down there in Miami, and then they went to New England, they shut that thing down. You do it, I guess, until nobody can shut it down. But Sean McVay.
Most defensive coordinators aren't spending half of their week talking about how can you beat me with 3 tight end sets, and that's what makes it funny to me. It worked so well. They was just fine with 5 yards a carry, fine with 7 yards a catch, fine with no explosive. They're just like, we're gonna beat you being efficient the whole way down the field, and you ain't gonna stop me all game. And I'm like,
and it also helps when you got, if you talk about a Rams team that has Puka they got Puka Nacua in the field, and how many touchdown catches this year does Devontae Adams that's 2 yards or less, like 8 or 9? Because he is the best receiver on the goal line that's not 6'4", 6'5". Like his ability to separate and catch the ball in such tight spaces, he did it in Green Bay, and now he's doing it. So, but that's once again, what did I say though? Sean McVay can call plays because I got a quarterback that understands the concepts of the plays. I got players that can execute. Sean McVay, he looks like a genius because he got guys that can go out there and I go back to one. You take a Trevor Lawrence. Are they willing to call plays like that? Like, think about this. It's not that. Are you willing to do it and stick with it? Because I'm gonna say this about the Titans, Trav. If the Titans can't establish the run or stop the run, or the Jags willing to just keep running it, even if they're getting Brian Thomas Jr. back, we would just keep running and because one of the most dangerous running backs in the league to me is Travis Etienne. Because of how he's a slasher. He's a different kind of runner. But if he gets going, are they willing to keep feeding? Are they willing to is Trevor Lawrence willing to just hand them off the rock and be bored? Remember them boring Tom Brady games? He just handed the ball off. They got all these motions. He just handed it off. He did it all. Are the Jags willing to beat? Are y'all willing to beat the Titans? How the Titans used to beat the Jags when they had Derrick Henry?
You are asking the right questions, my sir. Like you are there. You are there though. But like I've never, when I said that the Titans are soft on the outside. If you guys haven't checked out next gen stats after each game to see where the explosive runs happen, so you can kind of just figure out how this happens and then go back to the film to kind of confirm it. It's weird that the teams have actually been slashing the Titans on Jeffrey Simmons' side. Like instead, they know he's dominant as a run stopper, so they're just like, all right, cool, we're going to keep running at him. So they've been having very much success this season. Teams running on that left-hand side, running at Simmons or running around Simmons on that left side. And I thought, all right, cool. So the Jaguars, you got Travis Etienne, who's having basically a 1,500-yard season. I don't think folks have realized it's to that level. Yeah, and that's what Ezra Cleveland and Walker Little are, which are 2 of the Jaguars' most dominant run blockers. All right, cool. This matchup sounds to me very much like, all right, cool. You do this. Tennessee 6th in the NFL, giving up explosive runs and that's 10+ yards, and they've given up 40 of them this season. and they're 21st in run stop.
That's ridiculous. You know what's crazy about that stat, man? I get so sick of that, man. 40, they're giving up 40 explosive runs. You know what they did in 2024 that no one talks about? You know how many sacks? Yeah. No, that was no. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about my other team that don't be doing nothing. That would be the foul. Because I'm sorry, I be getting these bad teams mixed up. But Jeffrey Simmons, love what his ability is. No one's ever gonna call Jeffrey Simmons soft, not to his face. You're not gonna call him soft to his face, and he ain't soft. But against the run, he can get pushed around. Now people ain't gonna. And that's the thing about Jeffrey Simmons was, hey man, when someone uses the word dominant, they mean in all facets. You can't have, I expect you to be better in one than the other. 40, okay, how many plays you think he was on the field for them 40-yard explosive runs? Probably all of them. That's probably all, because he starts. So if you are Jacksonville, they're gonna respect Jeffrey Simmons, but if you got a third string guard in there, I mean, that's going to be a little different. But here's the thing. And let me say this. It's supposed to be different. What if it isn't? What if that third string guard is not different? I would say this about the Titans, and I know I'm doing my best to stay respectful when it comes to the Titans, man, but y'all have really, really good tight ends over there with Strange and those guys. Yep. Y'all have won without Brian Thomas. Listen, y'all were winning, and he's been hurt.
Multiple games, yeah.
So now bringing him, and without dude, the sign of a good team is to win without your stars. Y'all winning without two guys. One is named Travis Hunter. He's been hurt for a long time. And I heard early reports that if the Jags were still in it, they was actually going to bring him off IR, which now he's going to be out for the year. I think the reason why they chose to move on from that is to say, dude, we got to do this for Trevor. We got to do this for Trevor. We can't cater to Travis because he is still a rookie. And I know they say when he come back, they're going to do because you got two experiences on the team at one time. You got the Trevor Lawrence and you had the Travis Hunter. But you really got three. You really got three, Trav. You also got the Brian Thomas experience. Mm-hmm. That's an experience. And right now, Trevor's is working because he's healthy, can't make the club in the tub, and they winning. So we'll see.
No, you called it, man. It's gonna be interesting for sure, but again, they gotta run it. They gotta run that. It screams run the ball.
Would you jump off the screen if you see three tight ends run out there? Would you go, oh, they finna do this?
And the Jaguars have 4 now. Folks have been sleeping on Quentin Morris and how he's been playing. They're getting Hunter Long back. They got Johnny Munt and Britton Strange obviously came back last week and looking as dominant as ever. So overall, like they have options, but again, this all just screams to me: run the block. Keep this thing moving along, and hopefully they continue doing that. Again, I want to see 200 plus on the ground, or something went horribly wrong. That's just my perspective. That's my opinion. We're gonna see how this goes. But third, we got protect the Prince. Offensive line got to do their job. I mean, you know what this is. Like we already talked about Jeffrey Simmons and how quickly he can dominate a game. He's one of those guys who's just simply a game wrecker. And honestly, you ain't heard much. If you've been listening to the Jaguars fan base, you ain't heard much these last few weeks, basically since the bye week, about Walker Little. Everybody was raving about that dude, about how bad he was playing early on. And there's been, even from all his harshest critics, very little to talk about because he's actually been playing reasonably solid. At the same time, Cole Van Lannon, the backup right tackle, because Anton Harrison's been out for a few weeks, has been playing very well also. And I'm just sitting there like, all right, cool. So can they do that again in this rivalry game when folks always give you their best effort, basically? Can you do that with Jeffrey Simmons on that inside because he's an interior game record, not one of the outside guys who they historically have played better as? I just don't. If Jacksonville allows a pass rush for the Titans to get going, it's going to be a long day. That's kind of where this plane lands.
Yeah, I believe they will because I believe they have to. Because even though you can't look down the line for who you're going to play, you establishing who you are every week. You have to establish an identity with a guy like Jeffrey Simmons because every week when you come in for the game plan, they're going to put the players that you got to deal with on offense, players you got to deal with on defense, and you get it. Jeffrey Simmons is the guy you got to deal with on defense. If you are, Walker Little those guys, you saying to yourself, dude, I don't want to play good against okay talent. I want to play good against good talent. Now, good doesn't mean I got to be, you're not going to maul Jeffrey Simmons. A block is simply, man, I'm in your way enough for the running back to run by me. That's a win. That's an A+. I don't got to And if Jeffrey Simmons ain't pushing me after the play and all this, that means I'm not frustrating him. I got to frustrate him to make him think more about me than because I can't remember who the Titans had a joint practice with this offseason. They weren't afraid of him. They're like, dude, we ain't afraid of you, Jeffrey. Like a defensive lineman punching an offensive lineman means the defensive lineman is getting beat. That's what that means. You punching me means I'm beating you. And you ain't hurting me. You hit me in the helmet. Okay. I get slapped. Offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman gets slapped in their head every other play. Like that's a regular play in football. But I like I said, Jeffrey Simmons is gonna have to be a factor. But if y'all have sustained drives, no D lineman on the planet wants to deal with 8-9 play drives. They don't want to deal with that. I don't care who you are. Stamina is gonna be a factor. So I don't know how the weather, and I think they say the weather might be a little bad, which means they're going to take the gloves off and just run the football anyway. So the weather might make it so that they have to run the football.
We'll see. No, though. So Robert Lampson says it was number 69 for the Bucs in the joint practices.
Yeah, and the thing is, and the Bucs and the Bucs player, they was doing pass rush 1-on-1, and he beat him. He beat Jeffrey Simmons, and Jeffrey Simmons like, just because you're the alpha male on your D line, you're going up against alpha males on an entire O line. O linemen don't like D linemen. That's how it should be. I don't want no nice O lineman. I want an interior offensive lineman that that's a family man that loves his community and hates D linemen. That's what I want.
Oh well, I mean they gotta again protect Lawrence, but then they got it on the opposite side because we got this battle between the trenches. The game's gonna be won in the trenches when we're talking about blocking for the quarterback, when we're talking about establishing the run game, and obviously. On the Jacksonville side, the Titans they've surrendered the most sacks in the NFL this season, like 45. Like that ain't great for a rookie quarterback either. They've given up 3 or more 6 straight games, and they've given up 4 sacks or more in 5 of those 6 games. So we talked about the possibility that Travon Walker might be sitting again this week. We'll see what Friday's participation report says. But over the scope of the season, the Jaguars' pressure rate drops about 10% with Travon Walker off the field. They've been playing well these last, again, since the bye week, but just stats are what they are. But fortunately for the Jaguars, they've gotten a little bit of help these past few weeks with Dennis Gardeck, Danny Strigo, and BJ Green all kind of balling out basically since the bye. So that's given Jacksonville a few different options at least. Since Travon may or may not be available on Sunday. Overall, I guess where I'm really just at is Cam Ward. He holds the ball a long time.
Yes.
And he's 4th in the league in average time to throw, bro. So that ain't the greatest situation for him. But in his defense, he's been making teams pay with his legs. Like he's 2 games in a row with over 30 yards on the ground. And you said like he rolls out of the pocket and throws the ball backwards across the field and all these crazy chaotic things. But I feel like for the Jaguars, this is going to be like that Justin Herbert game a few weeks back, where you got a guy who's going to hold the ball and you're going to have opportunities for a multi-sack game. The question is whether or not you're going to land him on the ground or you're going to let him make these highlight throws. That's really what it's going to come down to for me on defense.
Yeah. And another thing too is can you continue to force him right and make him throw left? Because he will do it. He will. Now because you got an interim coach, can the interim coach really tell him he can't? He can, but is he going to listen to him? Right? He really can't. Yeah, he's like, dude, you ain't even going. And man, that's a big drop off as far as like production, as far as like how many. I never really looked at the stat line when you're talking about Josh Allen, those guys. How many plays they've played? How many snaps? Compared to you go from in the 3s to like in the 1s and and I think for once again if you are Jacksonville, play you can play to Cam Ward's strengths and it can still benefit you because his strengths is he don't like to throw the ball away. It's almost like he don't believe in it.
Yeah, that's Justin Herbert.
It's like
what I meant by that.
Yeah, because he's gonna find somebody. Make him find somebody. And if now for the DBs in the back end for the Jags, they got to be like, look, you got to cover guys a little longer. But you can also force him to. Cam Ward sees a throwing, he sees a throwing lane and doesn't think it can close. That's why he throws picks. Just close that lane up. And
he's early Trevor Lawrence. He's rookie year Trevor Lawrence, where he believed his arm over everything, and I can get it into any hole. I get it.
And here's the second thing he does. He thinks because I got the ball, I got to make a play. He thinks that you don't. Sometimes the best play is no play. And he think I got to make a play. I'm the number 1 overall pick. Well, it's been a number 1 overall pick every year, Cam. It's gonna be a number 1 overall pick next year and the year after that. No, it's how you play, more than what you're doing, in the course of a play. But I believe make him be Cam. If I'm the D coordinator, I said, listen, just let Cam be Cam. Why? Because he'll throw the ball to you. He'll do things that quarterbacks should not do. And if he does run the football, make him pay. Because another thing he doesn't do a lot, he doesn't slide. I don't know where these running quarterbacks get to where they're going to make it. Dude, y'all ain't the biggest dudes in the world. I'm going to be all right. Okay, keep on thinking that towed-off shot and momentum going to make you play 4 quarters. If Armstead and one of those guys catch it, man, I hope that doesn't happen, but you got to let these quarterbacks know it's a consequence when you pull that ball down. Can't hit you in the pocket anyway. So if you pull it down, hey, man, it's consequences and repercussions, young man, to doing that.
But you talked about playing against his, like, even whether or not you play towards his strengths or you play towards where he seems to have more opportunities. Against the blitz, Ward is 41 of 80 passing. He has a negative 0.57 passing EPA per dropback, which is last in the NFL. So obviously that screams to me, hey, Anthony Campanelli, bring the dogs. Like, that's something that I generally don't say most weeks. So if you listen to the Duval dive, you guys know, like, most weeks, the stats are generally the opposite for a lot of the quarterbacks who throw the ball quickly. They get the ball out in 2.5 seconds. You're wasting the blitzer. Just play coverage. That makes sense. This ain't that week. Like, this is the week that it's the opposite on other weeks where it's 27th in the league is where it goes to when he's not blitzed. So either way, it's not great. It's not incredible. But when you're talking last in the league by a large margin, when you're being blitzed, this is an easy conversation. Blitz him with discipline, obviously, because he can run the ball and try him occasionally. But for the most part, this seems very clear to me that the Jaguars, this is the week to show 7 at the line nearly every down and make him be doing something he ain't comfortable doing.
Test his IQ. Test above the neck. This is supposed to be that week. Force him to know where to go with the football. Because every defense got a hole in it. You got to find it, though. Every defense, who has a blitz, who has a zone, exotic, you saying, all right, Cam, can you find it? Can you find a hole in the defense? And if you make a mistake, Jacksonville, can you make him pay? And once again, make him roll right. Because he'll roll right. When Cam Ward rolls right and he stops running, he fixing to throw. Like, every time he does it, he'll stop and he'll throw it. And sometimes it's beautiful. It's incredible. Oh, that's incredible. But them announcers don't know what to say. They be like, oh, incredible throw. Yeah, but you throwing the Restrepo, he got out there last week and a different guy. You throwing the young guys. You notice all the older guys going, what Tyler Lockett at? Oh, he with the Raiders. Calvin Ridley, he's gone. They're not gonna say anything to him. I can't win with a quarterback that's doing, now he is a rookie, but I can't win with a guy that's doing things. Dude, if I roll right, that means you're supposed to throw it to the side. They do that in high school. You roll right, throw right. So, but I do think that
has a lot of habits. He's built up a lot of habits that's going to have to be broken by.
Absolutely. And his new coach going to have to really look at him and say, look, we're going to have to just throw away 2025 and just start from scratch in 2026. Because you got a lot of mechanics issues that has to be. And once he gets it, he don't lack talent. But you can't just do it because you feel it. Football don't work like that, man. Sometimes you got to take what the defense gives you. Then you can't go, well, man, I'm going to take something from him. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's going to be a turnover, right? Or a bad decision, or get one of your receivers blown up. Just staring at a dude? Yeah. And the only reason why you don't get blown up because these DBs don't want to get called for, targeting and unsportsmanlike conduct. He hit him too hard. What? It's football, man. Stop it.
Well, who is your ex? Oh, just so you know, my last piece of the game was to Rec Ward. That send them.
Yeah,
that was,
yeah.
You got to send them boys. I feel like that's what this week is. But did you have an X factor for the game?
My X factor for the Titans is y'all Parker Washington, and that's DK. Okay. That's DK. Shamir DK is my X factor because he can do different things. Obviously, he can get open on offense, but he's instant offense, on special teams because I think he got the most all-purpose yards in the league, if I'm not mistaken. I will have to go check that again. He's like tops in the league, Trav. We talking about first team all-pro type stuff. Now I know y'all got Parker. Parker is silky smooth. DK is silky smooth. I'm talking about in the punt return because the thing about this Titans team, where you gonna get momentum? I get like trying to have like certain like wild plays. Where you gonna generate points from? I think he can help you generate points. And so because he can do, I like guys that can do multiple things. He's nice in the slot, and if you kick it, listen, kickers beware because his vision is incredible, and I think he has multiple punt return touchdowns this year. So I'm gonna go with Shamir DK as my X factor because I think he's a guy that understands how much the team needs him on both special teams and offense.
Okay. I got Titans linebacker Cedric Gray. Like I like his matchup versus Travis Etienne. I think that's going to be a very interesting one because Gray got 34 tackles in the last 3 games, and he already is over 100 for the season, which is third in the NFL. I don't think many folks in Jacksonville or outside of Tennessee is aware of that. So I was just like, oh dang, he's balling. So between him and Jeffrey Simmons up front, if there's 2 guys who can kind of blow up that Jacksonville run game or have an opportunity to make this a real dogfight for Jacksonville, that's kind of what I saw because I feel like, again, that's Jacksonville. That's the primary goal for me for Jacksonville, run the ball. And these are the 2 guys who have the best chance of stopping him from hitting that 200 yards on the ground goal. So that's where I'm leaning overall. Again, Cedric Gray versus Travis Etienne. And yeah, let's get into these predictions, man. We just had an hour, man. We ended up having a fun time. I gotta get this thing going. So yeah, the Jaguars are 13th in the league with 24 points a game on offense, whereas the Titans are 30th in the league with 15 points a game. Jaguars 22nd in the league with 218 yards per game passing, whereas the Titans are 29th with 200 yards a game. Jaguars are 10th in the league with 128 yards rushing. Titans are 32nd with 77, which that helps the Jaguars out a lot since I believe they were averaging giving up around 80 yards a game on the ground. The Jaguars defense is 25th in the league with 21 sacks, whereas the Titans are 14th in the league with 27. And to wrap it up, the Jaguars defense is 2nd in the league in interceptions, whereas the Titans are 28th with 5. So, sir, these are the guys over at NFL.com. 9 out of the 10 analysts chose the Jaguars to win this one seemingly handily, with Daniel Jeremiah being the one person to say the Jaguars were going to lose. He predicted 21-20. I wanted to know your thoughts. Where do you have this game landing? What score do you got?
I definitely got even without the metrics, man. Sometimes I don't even want to hit a metric. When you in the bottom tier and so many metrics, that's how much coaching you have to overcome every Sunday. You in the bottom, most of these metrics. I got the Jags winning. Like I got to be in a good game because I think the Titans have shown we're going to be competitive. We're just going to come up short. I could see it being like 28-21 Jags because the Titans are in a situation where you ain't got nothing to lose. You want to win the game, but what are we being conservative for? For what? You are 1-11. This ain't the time to be, let's not do that. You better be trying something. Because number one, because now, Trav, you trying to see who you gonna re-sign, who guys you want to keep on this squad in 2026, and who is dead weight. So I got the Jags winning 28-21. I just think it's gonna be one of those 28-21 games that looks a lot worse than that, though. It's not. It's gonna end up that. It's not good. It's going to be like, the Titans will score like twice in the fourth quarter, but the game is going to get away because the defense can do so much to Cam Ward, and there is no reason to not run the football if you're the Jag. There is no – I don't care that Brian Thomas Jr. might be coming back. Block. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no once again, I'm going to keep on saying this. Listen, me and Trav, we got this new university that we are promoting. It's called CSU. It's Common Sense University. You should enroll now. It's going to help you, especially in sports. I'm just saying, it sounds like I'm rooting for the Jags over here, and I'm not. I'm just being honest about it, man. I see too much of the Titans I think they've learned how to be competitive. The last couple of weeks they've learned. They ain't learned how to win though. And they're not going to start this week. The Jags got too much on the line. They still not only trying to make the playoffs, but potentially win the freaking AFC South. So yeah, I got a 28-21. I think Cam Ward takes another step, but I think Trevor Lawrence wants to outplay that youngin on the other side. Hey man, they be comparing you to me. Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
You almost had me, but then you said that last statement, and I'm like, don't try to outplay the Ricky on the other side. Just win the game. No, you try to outplay that Ricky on the other side, you're gonna throw 17 picks. Like, no, we can't.
No. I do think Liam Cohen can reel Trevor back in because y'all playing meaningful football. Y'all playing football that matter. And when Liam Cohen said we're not going to apologize for winning over here, that's structure. That's a culture you trying to build. You can build off of that. They won't even show you the Titans locker room. Ain't nobody trying to see. They ain't showing you that. They don't. Ain't nobody trying to see that. Not right now. Cool. But it will be exciting because it's a rival game, right? It's a rival. It's a division rival game. But I just think if Etienne and company ain't 200 yards, I think that's modest. I can see y'all doing some stuff because running the football is mentality. That means, dude, that's how you bludgeon people. Run the football. We put my hand there. Let's do it. Me and you. And well, all that cute stuff is out the window. And I see y'all doing that a lot. And even though Liam Cohen and these Jags, some of these Jags ain't had nothing to do with them Tennessee Titans of the yesteryear with Derrick Henry, they want some get back. They don't.
That's it.
No one like being on the highlights.
Josh Hines Allen, he knows about it. Dewey Wiggard, he knows about it. Like, there's a few guys who know about it, and I mean, heck, even Trevor knows about it.
Yeah.
So I'm generally with you. Like, I think it's going to be that kind of a game. Even if it ended up as a one-score game, it was a one-score game that didn't feel necessarily like one. Similar to that Seattle game against the Titans last week. Like, the Jags offense has scored 27 or more in 3 of the last 4 games. They're averaging around 30 points a game since the bye week, and the Titans defense has surrendered 27 or more in the 3 of the last 4 games. So Tennessee hasn't been a pushover, but overall, since their bye, they only lost to Houston by 3, and that was on a walk-off field goal where the Titans were up with 95 seconds left. That's what I was talking about earlier. And they lost to Seattle by 6 last week. So that game was closer because of a late Tennessee touchdown.
Yeah, I don't like scores like that. I don't like because it make it like, oh, the Titans almost. No,
yeah, they didn't. No. They didn't. It was a late touchdown with like a minute left in the game. Like, all right, cool. So I'm probably going Jaguars 30, Titans 23. I do think the Jaguars going to keep that 30-point range going again this week, mainly on the ground. But I do think the Titans maybe score something late to make it look a little bit better than it needs to. Than was going to look early on. But for the most part, man, that's what we got, man. Like, I am. Social Alky, I'll give you yours. I mean, he says keep Trevor in that 25 to 30 attempt range, and I think that's pretty much where we were landing on this bad boy. I think if you do that, that also means you are establishing the run game. Bashaw Tootin, Travis Etienne, LeQuint Allen, like, come on down. Like, I think this is your week. Run the dang ball. And yeah, but let the people know where they can be found, where you can be found, what everything you got going on right now these days, sir.
Oh man, 84 Reasons podcast, Winning the Division podcast, The Fan in the End podcast. My old Twitter, X, whatever got hacked. Somebody hacked me. I don't know why they hacked me, but they did. So I'm at Ben Troupe something. Just type it in. It's like Ben Troupe 764. It's something weird. I can't even remember. But man, just doing my part, man. Trav, just only having fun. I know I am doing something or put trending in the right direction when, Jags beat writers and analysts like yourself reach out and say, Ben, come through, man. I think having the opportunity to come on, with you and your homie, man, I think it's fun for me because it keeps me level-headed when it comes to I want them two-tone blue boys to win, but I'm not crazy. Like, I can see what's going, that's the hardest part about when you get in this business, when people say you can't pick the team you rooting for every week. You ain't a fan no more. Like, you can't pick like a fan would. We know who you want to win, but who's gonna win? And but just having fun, man. Just enjoying it, not taking myself too seriously. The people in the comments, man, y'all have a lot of time on y'all hands to ask a lot of questions. Can't nobody get to all these questions in these comments, but we do our best to answer them. But we do appreciate you guys listening, no doubt.
Nah, man, I'm in that same boat where people get a little angry at me whenever I don't pick the Jaguars to win, even though I've been right. Like, I said the Jaguars are going to lose against the Raiders by a point, and then they won them by a point because the last play of the game ended up being a wide open receiver and the ball got knocked down. And I said they were going to lose against the Titans. Against the Texans in a close game, and then they lost that game. And then people were still mad at me. And I'm like, dude, you want me to be right, or you just want me to tell you what you want to hear? Like, I don't know what the right answer is here, but so I'm here with it. I do believe the Jaguars win this game, and I'm just not trying to give folks. I'm not trying to gas the team up just because I like the team. Like, at the end of the day, I'm here to tell you what's right and what's likely going to happen. So I think the Jaguars are going to end this week 8-4. And yeah, man, hopefully they'll end this bad boy tied with the Indianapolis Colts.
8-4 after 12 weeks with the Jags. There are a lot of Jag beat writers. There are a lot of national analysts that are really, 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 really eating a lot of humble pie because nobody saw 8-4 after 12 weeks with the Jags. You'll take it. Be like, they 8-4. And Travis Hunter's out, and Brian Thomas Jr. has been out. Yeah, they still winning.
Yeah. Parker Washington is their leading receiver.
Parker Washington is silky smooth, man. I mean, as dangerous as he is as a receiver.
That's not a knock to Parker. I'm just saying. I'm
not mad at Parker.
No one predicted that. That's all.
Parker Washington is nasty good. And he's dangerous in the punt return game because he goes, hey, man, punt it to me. Punters beware. Because I'm telling you, this dude, oh, man. Here we go with another.
I got you. We're gonna let him go. We're going to let him go. We're in hour 10. Man, we appreciate you. We're going to have to do this on a Wednesday so we can really get into it. But no, Social Alki, Liam Cohen, Coach of the Year. Hey, man, that's another podcast conversation. But let's get into it. Jaguars, Titans, Sunday. We will see you guys for the post game. And if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, let us know. But enjoy your Black Friday. Be safe out there and go Jaguars.